So, hello. My name is WriterMaven. I am the host of the Wrestling Receipts podcast. I talk all things Judgment Day, Dom, Liv, Raquel, Finn, JD, Roxanne, and poor Carlito. This Monday Night Raw was pretty much Monday Night Mysterio because Dom had 5 segments on Raw. Count them, 5 segments. The man was all over Raw. He was involved with the match. Everything pretty much surrounded Dom. We had the tribal chief and Io and Stephanie and Rhea and all them and Naomi, but Dom was the centerpiece of the show. I've always said that when you have Judgment Day segments or just Dom all throughout the show, Raw flows better. And what happened tonight? Raw flowed better because he started Raw and pretty much all the way up until the end before the women's match between Io and Stephanie, he pretty much ended Raw and like I said, he was just all over the place. So Dom carried this show. He was hilarious. We finally got to see nice, aggressive, and proactive action from Dom to AJ, but you can't count AJ out because AJ Styles was hilarious. Man showed up in like 5 different jobs. He was a custodian, he was a valet, he was WWE medical, he was all over the place. So you have to give AJ props, but I'm going to get into that. But I will have to say that I am really, really tired of Michael Cole's ass. Seriously, I am done with him. He is pretty much ruining single-handedly the Judgment Day part of whatever Dom's got going on. Because if you take Dom and AJ away from the Judgment Day storyline, it's fine. It stands on its own. We have humor. We have nice Dom and AJ interactions going back and forth. That's fine. That's perfect. But when you get Michael Cole's dumbass and you have him just pretty much dogging Dom all night, pretty much insinuating that Dom is too close to Roxanne when Raquel is like sitting right there. How are you going to get after Dom for being too close to Roxanne when Raquel is there? And Dom can't be next to any woman now? You see how silly it sounds? And then he's talking about, oh, I called Liv. I'm like, you were dogging Liv for her relationship with Dom prior to her injury. Now you're all concerned about how Liv is? And then he keeps pushing this Roxanne and Dom. Now, last year, we had a nice progression with Liv and Dom, where we saw the interactions. Pretty much tonight, you saw Dom pretty much keep his distance away from Roxanne. He said, "Who?" Now, if y'all were on the international feed, y'all probably didn't hear this, but on the international feed, he was like, "Who?" when Cole was being an ass and bringing up Roxanne, and Dom, when Roxanne got the mic during another international interview during the international commercial break, Dom was facing away from the crowd. He's not interacting with Roxanne at all. So for Cole to keep pushing this Roxanne and Dom narrative when nothing on screen is matching up is really annoying. There's no hints there, there's no inkling there. Last year, they didn't even talk about Dom and Liv until the very last minute. They didn't mention Liv and Dom's social interactions until the very last minute. You never got anything from Cole that was talking about, oh, he cheating on mommy or anything like that. We never got that from Cole last year. We got little hints here or there where Pat was saying, there's less in your eyes, Dominik, but it wasn't hammered home to the point where whenever Dom got on screen, it's just Cole just hammering Roxanne. And it's just annoying because there's nothing there. There's nothing to feed it. You're just saying something just with no substance behind it. And it's really taken away from the story. Because like I said, he needs to pick a lane. Because here you have Dom being presented as heel. He's running away from AJ and he attacked AJ here. And then you got Finn being presented as a heel. And sooner or later, somebody's got to make a choice and go face. I mean, Cole still can't have this hate boner for Dom if Dom is supposed to be the face. Even when Bayley turned face, Cole has some friction points with Bailey and they don't get along, but you don't hear Cole dog out Bailey to the point where he is with Dom. And Shadow says Dominik needs to be in the ring in the mic with Sand and not in the women's division. He's not in the women's division. He was away from it for a while and he's only popped up this time. Again, this is this Dom can't win for losing. That's what I was wailing about regarding Cole today. There was an interaction where he was asking, would Liv like it with if you're out here with Roxanne? And I'm like, first of all, Dom was getting ragged on for not being out there with Judgment Day prior. Like, where's Dom? And then now when he's out there with Judgment Day, because Raquel and Roxanne are Judgment Day, now he would Liv like it. He can't win for losing. Is he supposed to be out there or not? You can't wail on him on both ends. Either he's supposed to be out there and he was shirking his responsibilities, or he's not supposed to be out there because Roxanne is out there. What is he supposed to do? Cole really needs to take back. They need to figure out the commentary, because commentary is supposed to give the audience the direction of where it's supposed to go. If Dom's supposed to be a face leading tweener, fine. Where's the sympathy? Where's the sympathy? If he's talking about Finn like being underhanded with Judgment Day, then you should be getting some sympathy for Dom. But we don't get that. If Dom is supposed to be big headed and not caring about Judgment Day, and Finn is supposed to be the face, then how come we're not getting the sympathy for Finn? Like, Finn is really trying to hold things together. Finn is doing all this for Judgment Day, and then Dom is just wiping his feet on it. You see what I mean? They need to lock down what they want. You can't just have Cole have this hard on to rag Dom from Kingdom Come, but then he will glaze the shit out of Logan Paul. Make it make sense. But tonight was just really aggravating with Cole. If Cole wasn't there and I was just listening to Corey, it would have been fine. But Cole just really aggravated me, and he really confused. He's really confusing things when it relates to Dom and his alignment. Is he supposed to be heel? Is he supposed to be face? Is he supposed to be tweener? Now, you can say you can have a face turn or whatever at SummerSlam, but still, by this time last year, Damian Priest was leaning face. We saw him starting to lean face with his interactions with R-Truth. We saw how he wanted to be on his own when he was fighting when he was fighting Seth and Drew McIntyre and Jey Uso. We saw the inklings of a face turn then, and then commentary supported Damian. Damian was a huge hypocrite because he was really getting after Finn for operating as usual, like with interference, with Judgment Day interference. So yeah, Damian was a big, huge hypocrite regarding Finn and Judgment Day. But at least with Damian, we saw the turn with him going face, and commentary backed up that face turn. We are not seeing that with Finn or with Dom. There's a possibility they could go heel heel, but heel versus heel rarely works because somebody has to take the face turn. This is why I compare like this between Drew and CM Punk. Yeah, CM Punk is an ass, but he's an ass that the audience likes, and the commentary backs up what the audience likes. It's not like CM Punk is out there being his asshole self, and then commentary is just continuously running him down, and then they're running down Drew McIntyre for doing what he does. You see how confusing that would be for the audience if you had Cole running down CM Punk for being an ass, and then running down Drew McIntyre for like stealing CM Punk's friendship bracelet. It's that shit. So, anyway, I'm gonna go on and get into Raw because people are online worried about Roxanne, Dom Rocks, even though we finally get in some action from Dom. Pick your lane, pick your battles. We finally got Dom to be aggressive. We can push Dom to the side. I'm not worried about Dom Rocks at all. There's nothing there. If something comes and it's worth, then we can bitch about it until Kingdom Come at SummerSlam. But for right now, I ain't worried about Dom Rocks. We finally got what we wanted in regards to Dom being aggressive, and I will take that. But anyway, let's get into Raw. Pre-Raw, We had a picture of Judgment Day in the SUV, and Dom was driving it, and here comes the bitching about why is Dom with his odds when Finn posted that picture. What again? This is another situation where Dom can't win for losing. He's still a part of Judgment Day. He could write it off. Maybe that Finn was going to be funny. Now we didn't like it, and I didn't like it, and that's why I posted that TikTok the other day about it, and I didn't like it, and I want Dom to be gone from Judgment Day immediately. But Dom is still a part of Judgment Day. He has not initiated any kind of split with Judgment Day. So it still would be weird if he showed up without Judgment Day. We have to think about it in context of the story. Do we want Dom away from Judgment Day? Hell yes. We wanted him gone yesterday from the Judgment Day. But you have to remember that he's still a part of this group. But we saw signs tonight that he's really getting tired of it and splitting. You can see it in his face. And remember, Dom is the master of facial expressions, so we really saw it. So people were bitching about that photo, and I'm like, of course, we're gonna bitch about a photo again. Here we go. Let's get into Monday Night Raw. We have the Judgment Day SUV that they took the picture in, pulling up to the arena in the garage. We saw Raw start. See, that's that thing. Dom started off Monday Night Raw, driving people in. I find it interesting that Dom was driving the SUV, pretty much showing how he's taking control. I think that's more like Dom showing he's taking control of things. It wasn't Finn, and it's not like he's being like a chauffeur. That's just Dom taking control. When everybody gets out, Dom says to Finn he's gonna handle he's gonna handle the valet. Dom hands the keys to the valet, and guess who the valet is? It's AJ Styles, looking ridiculous in his outfit. And Dom is immediately like, "This is harassment," and he stalks off. And then AJ is standing there with the keys in his monkey suit, and I'm like, that was hilarious. That start off the night perfectly because I knew we were going to be in for more shenanigans with AJ and Dom, and this is what I wanted. I wanted more Dom and AJ shenanigans, and we got it in spades tonight. Like I said, it's interesting that Dom is driving, but like I said, this is showing Dom in control. He is in control of his own narrative here, and it was hilarious. Dom was like, "This is harassment." AJ stalks off, and AJ's like, "What?" He's got the keys with his L'Oreal hair. It's just AJ being AJ, but this is the goofy shit that was missing from a lot of these storylines, and it just builds up their future fight at SummerSlam now that it's official perfectly because we have AJ continue to be annoying to Dom because Dom is being the heel that is ducking his responsibility. He doesn't want to go to medical, and AJ is just going to keep hounding him until he gets him in medical to get evaluated so he can have this match. And then later on, before I get into the tag team triple threat match for the number one contender for the Raw tag team belts, I'm going to bring up El Grande Americano Dos, who is Ludwig Kaiser. I will have to say that he has better Spanish than Chad Gable, but I do like how when he was getting interviewed, he started speaking Spanish, and then Dragon Lee rolls up because he's still pissed off at what happened last week, and he starts speaking Spanish to Dragon Lee, and they start going at it, and I was happy about it. I still want Dragon Lee to still be upset with Ray because he got pretty much hung out to dry by Ray because I want that whole narrative of Dom was right again with Dragon Lee. But I did like how Dragon Lee just rolled up on Chad Gable, wasn't having it, and they just started scrapping. This boils over into the tag team triple threat match, which happens later on. This was a good match. We have Flippy Lucha's ship with Del Toro and Joaquin Wilde. I was looking great in this match. Dragon Lee was looking great. I wish they had Ivy Now involved a little bit more. But I get why she wasn't because it was just mostly all men out there. It was New Day, it was LWO, and Creed Brothers, but she could have been involved just a tiny bit more. El Grande Americano Dos comes back out to attack Dragon Lee because the Creed Brothers had shoved off Dragon Lee when he was checking on, I think, Del Toro, and Dragon Lee was not having it. And since it was a triple threat match, Dragon Lee just decided to go F it and start super kicking everybody. He was going to do a flip off the ring apron onto the Creed brothers when El Grande Americano comes out and takes him out. Then they start beefing. Then the Creed brothers started beefing with El Grande Americano. I found that really interesting because you would think they would just embrace El Grande Americano just because Chad Gable stable started it, but maybe they're thinking with El Grande Americano Dos that this is a fraud. This isn't Chad Gable. We don't want no part of it. So I found that interesting that they didn't go with the immediately embracing El Grande Americano Dos. Usually, I thought they were just gonna have El Grande Americano Dos slide into where to what Chad was doing, but they're not doing that. Creed Brothers was like, no, they're not having it. And while the Creed brothers were distracted, I think that was either Del Toro or Joaquin. I think that was Del Toro. Del Toro does this whole twisting dive off of onto the Creed brothers and takes them out. And then when the New Day tries to take advantage of the distraction and get Joaquin wild, he pushes, I think it was that Xavier. He pushes off Xavier off the turnbuckle, and then he rolls up Kofi Kingston for the 1, 2, 3, and the LWO win. And the WWO winning was obvious because there's only two face teams on the Raw side. This is why I was wanting Andrade and Rey Fenix to come over from SmackDown to Raw because we really need face teams in the tag division. But it was obvious. We only had War Raiders and the LWO. The War Raiders already had their chance and they're boring as fuck. So it's about time that LWO get a shot at tag team gold. El Grande Americano Dos was still and was walking off, and he walks off to the back. But I'm happy with it. We had Dragon Lee. We have Dragon Lee helping out LWO, and it looks like Dragon Lee still has a little bit of a storyline going on with El Grande Americano Dos, which is nice. He needed a storyline. He was pretty much neglected because we have Penta there, and Penta wasn't even there tonight. He didn't do anything tonight? I don't think so. But they get a shiny new Lucha Libre star, and then they start forgetting about everybody else. So I'm glad that Dragon Lee was able to start to get a little bit of a storyline here. But WL win. That's that. And they will face the Judgment Day. I think Finn said that was going to happen next week. So we might still get a tag team change there. I would not be surprised. Because I think for the storyline, they have to drop it anyway. And they need to shift it over to a face team anyway because there are more heel teams than face teams. So we now go into Raw Backstage after this. Adam Pearce is getting after Dom to be evaluated by medical. Dom is keep dodging, which is a heel tactic. I keep telling y'all, Dom keeps dodging, saying Roxanne and Raquel texted him that he needs to be out there to ringside. Somebody online made a point of why is it now that Dom is needed at ringside when that wasn't the case when Liv was there. So that's something to think about. Adam gets after Dom to stop dodging. Dom now bumps into a custodian who's mopping the floor, and it turns out to be AJ. And Dom again says this is a harassment and storms off. And then he got AJ still mopping the floor when he bumps into New Day, and New Day is like, "What the fuck?" And then AJ's like, "What?" And he shovels off screen, and New Day is like, "What the hell is going on around here?" Again, hilarious. This is just hilarious with AJ. This is like his second job. We have AJ as a valet, and then AJ as a custodian. What can you say? It's just hilarious. He's just over here mopping floors, just trying to still get under Dom's skin. Also, with this, New Day was talking, and then Grayson Waller comes up, and then Grayson Waller is all happy because since Austin Theory is injured, he's no longer with Austin Theory. And I'm like, they really did this Austin Theory, Grayson Waller breakup off screen. Can you believe that? All this time when Austin Theory was getting hot and getting sympathy, when he could have had a face turn and did something with it, Triple H with his dumb self squandered that, and Now, I don't know if Austin Theory is injured or not, but they squandered it where their breakup was pretty much off screen. How is that fair to Austin Theory? Austin Theory is not my favorite, but I really liked him with the way because he was really goofy with the way, with Gargano and Indy and Candice, and then Dexter when he came in. But it's like you squandered his potential face turn, and now that he's injured and probably off TV, now you got Grayson Waller over here saying that's just a weight lifted, and here we go. That's just foul to do to Austin Theory, and I didn't like that at all. So then we now get into the women's tag team title match. This match was pure chaos. There was so much stuff going on at once with this match. It advanced so many storylines. It advanced Becky, Bayley, and Lyra. It advanced Bayley is probably alignment. She's probably going to go heel. It advanced Raquel and Roxanne and Dom. It advanced Dom and AJ. And then we got Cole still talking like an idiot. It just advanced so much, this women's tag team match. And this is what a tag team, this is what the matches should be doing. You should be advancing storylines. And it did. It advanced storylines. Here, with Dom still coming out with Roxanne and Raquel, Dom is still ignoring and maintaining his distance from Raquel. Not from Raquel, Roxanne. So again, do not worry about Dom Rocks. That's just Cole just trying to hammer it home because I'm pretty sure Liv is showing up at SummerSlam. So this is just something to keep in people's mind. It's just really getting annoying because there's nothing to it. It would be something if we had something to it, flirtation here or there, a secret meeting here or there, but there's nothing to it. There's nothing there. They haven't done anything. We haven't seen any secret things. We had all kinds of secret meetings and backstage stuff and backstage shenanigans with Liv and Dom Summer last year. So to go from that to this, where Roxanne and Dom hasn't done anything, it's just really underwhelming. There's nothing there. There's no chemistry. There's no spark. There's no nothing. And it's obvious that Dom is maintaining his distance from Roxanne for a reason. You can see it. He is not interested. At least last year, you could have Dom make all the kinds of excuses to be around Liv, really close to Liv. He wanted to be with Liv. Even though he was saying one thing, he was doing another. He was being very duplicitous. But here with Roxanne, he's making it known that he doesn't want to be there at all. He's done everything except say, stay away from me. That's all that he would probably need to say in regards to Roxanne. Or just say no or something like that. That's the only thing Dom hasn't done. But everything else, body language, distance, interest, he hasn't done that with Roxanne. Bayley and Lyra were in that can they coexist type of role until they really started gelling in their tag team with Raquel and Roxanne. Again, Michael Cole was talking out of his ass regarding Roxanne and Cole, and then he was still, and like I said, he keeps trying to push Roxanne and Dom, and then he's all talking about like Judgment Day is just so much better with Liv. No, it's not. The only thing that got added to Judgment Day without Liv was the men's tag, and that's it. Was everything else was done while Liv is there. And he's like, how can you be better when you still just have the same tag team champions? You just added one. And then he's talking about, well, called Liv to ask about it. Why are you concerned about Liv? You were like I said earlier tonight, you're running down Liv regarding Dom and her relationship with Dom, and then now you're all concerned about Liv. It's like Cole was acting more like a heel commentator than Corey was. Like Corey has to twist himself in knots trying to portray the heel commentary for the story. That's the issue here. He's talking out both sides of his mouth, Michael Cole. He's not picking a lane. He's ruining the story. If he had just focused in on Dom and AJ and Dom dodging AJ, that would have been fine. But when he starts adding all the Roxanne stuff and the Liv stuff and how Dom is cheating, he keeps pushing the narrative of Dom cheating when we haven't even seen Dom with any other woman. We've only seen Dom with Rhea and Liv. He's making it out like Dom, whenever he's near a woman, he's cheating. And that's not the case. And that's just really annoying because you're insulting my intelligence because I see what I see on TV. Dom hasn't been around any other women. He hasn't been Eddie. If he had been Eddie and he was flirting with everybody that moves, fine, you could say that. He has this wandering eye. He's doing this. He's been caught in the shower with other women. You could say that. But he's not doing that. So what all the stuff that Michael Cole says about Dom is counter to what we've seen on TV recently and in the past. And it's just very, very aggravating. And like I said, they're not telling us or giving us a clear, distinct face and heel with the Judgment Day storyline. If Finn turns on Dom, is he staying heel? But you got Dom over here still acting heel with AJ. And here you would think, again, like I said, compare Dom to what's going on, what happened with Damian last year. Damian was showing all the face type industry, like he was being friendly to R-Truth. He was wanted to stand on his own with Seth and Drew and Jay. He didn't want the help. He was saying that he didn't need Judgment Day, and we were getting after him for saying that last year. But at least he was showing some face tendencies. Here, he's not doing that. So like I said, Cole just keeps talking out of his mouth, both sides of his mouth. And it's just really, really annoying. Because he could be contributing to how we're supposed to be seeing Dom and how we're supposed to be Finn. If Finn is supposed to be the heel and Dom's supposed to be face leaning, then we need Dom with the sympathy. I keep saying, where is Dom's sympathy? Whereas instead of Cole just dogging Dom out all the time, he could be saying, hey, I know that Liv is out and Dom must be really feeling sad without Liv right now. Something like that. But Cole always has this hate boner for Dom where it's just really it's really interfering in the story. I don't hear that. You don't hear Joe Tessacor when he was talking about Dom. I wouldn't expect Joe Tessacor and Wade Barrett to just bury Dom like that. I think when Joe Tessacor was on Raw with Barrett and he was talking about Dom, you didn't hear Joe Tessacor just run Dom into the ground like that. Here, Cole is just running Dom into the ground, and there's no reason to run Dom into the ground. He turned on Ray, but all the other face commentaries, Big Joseph, Joe Tessacor, any of these other ones, like Sam Roberts, all these other face commentators don't run Dom like that. Dom down to the ground like that. So Cole needs to just ease up on the gas there. Um, Dom interferes in the match because he's trying to say Judgment Day. I think this was Lyra gets in Dom's face and Dom is backing up. And this is where Raquel goes to kick Lyra, but she ducks and hits Dom instead. So again, there's that action where Dom was pretty much attacked by Raquel, and that's an action against Dom and further splitting Dom away from Judgment Day. And then the match goes on while Dom is down, and then they summon WWE Medical. Now, at this point, I thought they were going to do something like Dom got injured for real, kayfabe-wise, and then it was just going to put off Dom having to be evaluated for one more week. That's where I thought it was going at the time. But then WWE Medical comes out, and then a hand stops the person that was like holding Dom's head and neck. And then the guy comes in, and then Dom looks up, and here's AJ as WWE Medical. And then AJ's like, I don't know what he was trying to do, either CPR or something. I thought they were gonna get AJ for touching Dom here. He didn't really hit him; he was just grabbing him. And then Dom was like, "Oh hell no!" And then he pushes AJ off, and then takes off through the ring and then up the ramp, and then AJ is right after him. Again, hilarious. And all the shenanigans causes all the distractions. This is where Becky decides to come out and attack Lyra by pulling off the ring apron, and then when Bayley goes to tag in, Lyra's not there, and so she's spinning off Roxanne and Raquel until Raquel catches Bayley with the Tejana bomb and pins her 1, 2, 3, and Judgment Day retain the women's tag team titles. Like I said, this match was super chaotic because we didn't know what Lyra and Bayley was gonna do. I really think Bayley's gonna turn heel. I'm kind of hoping she does because I want her to join up with her bestie Naomi, where they can be obnoxious heels together. So I want Bayley to go heel. But it was just chaotic. You had Lyra and Bayley going, "Can they coexist?" And then you had Dom outside. You had Cole just being really annoying on commentary, where I was almost to the point where I wanted to toot him out. AJ showed up with his third job of the night, which was WWE Medical, and we had all that shenanigans. So this match advanced so much because now next week Bayley's gonna be wondering why Lyra like ditched her because she didn't see that Becky took out Lyra. We're gonna have some implications maybe with Raquel kicking Dom. And then we have the advancement with Dom and AJ. And then again, we get another segment backstage with Dom when he's looking around. He's like, "Where is Paul Blart?" If you from that movie, Mall Cop. And he rolls up on Finn and JD, and he's talking about how AJ is stalking him. And this is when Scrap Daddy Adam Pearce rumbles up, and he's like, "Dom will come to medical, or he's taking the Intercontinental title." So pretty much, Dom is forced to go to WWE Medical to get evaluated, or his belt gets taken away because he was like, "No, this is mine." Regarding his Intercontinental title. So Dom has to go off with Scrap Daddy, and then Finn says something hilarious like, "You get the lollipops." Again, hilarious. Short and sweet. It keeps the humor up because Dom pretty much called AJ Paul Blart and then Finn with the lollipops. It was a nice little connecting segment there to get Dom from being chased by AJ to WWE Medical. And we get the final Dom segment of the night, and the most important one, because at WWE Medical, AJ and Scrap Daddy are waiting the results of the evaluation. The medical staff says he's done the evaluation, but he needs to fill a few things out. AJ is all heard about this. He wants to know now. And then out of nowhere, I was not expecting this, but out of nowhere, Dom comes up with his IC belt and just blasts AJ in the back. Just blasts him clean, hits him. AJ goes into like that little, it's like a little cabinet thing, and then he hits the ground. Scrap Daddy's yelling at Dom to back off. Dom picks up the clipboard, and he's like, "Oh, looks like I am cleared, and I will see AJ at SummerSlam." Then Dom wipes his feet on the paperwork and walks off. This was so, so needed for Dom. We have been begging for aggressive action. Aggressive action that we saw at Worlds Collide and at Money in the Bank, where he's just aggressive towards people, and we finally got it. He was aggressive. He did the attack on AJ. I was thinking that Dom was going to get cleared, and then we would have AJ finally put his hands on him and start knocking him around. But here, Dom took matter into his own hands when he was driving the car. I have to make that parallel. He took matters into his own hands. He attacks AJ, medically clears himself, and says that he will see AJ at SummerSlam. Perfect. It's perfect. This is all we want. This is what all we wanted from Dom. It's just aggression. A lot of people are saying that Dom got maybe some intel from Liv saying that she's on the way up back. Maybe he did, but still, please do not take away Dom's moment of being aggressive and taking control into his own hands by putting that Liv started that. We had that with Rhea, and I saw this comment on the X too. We always had the notion that it was always Rhea telling Dom to do stuff, and now Liv telling him to do stuff. Don't take this action and put it squarely. Just Liv telling Dom something to do 100%. He might have heard that Liv was on his way back, but he still has his own mind where he can decide on what to do. Let Dom have his moment of action. Dom lived until we were told elsewise. Liv did not tell him Dom what to do. She might have told him that she's on his way back, and maybe that prompted him to do something, but it's still Dom's action. He did it 100%. Don't take that away from Dom. But like I said, this was needed. AJ got attacked. Law of averages, the AJ will probably attack next week. Like I said, the whole momentum thing is not working like it should right now, so it's still up in the air 50-50. I'm still thinking Dom retains regardless, because I think the feud with Finn would need the belt. You don't need that to go to AJ. AJ's not going to do much with it, and you can still have the feuds with Dom with the belt and do something else with it. I still think Dom is going to retain, and I think AJ might still do stuff with TNA later on anyway. But again, this is still a heelish action from Dom. This isn't like where Dom just comes out of WWE Medical and says like, you know what? I'm not injured. We're gonna fight each other at SummerSlam. AJ like gentlemen's or something like that, gentlemen's agreement, something like that. No, this was still a heel action. He blasted AJ from behind, so he's still heel. And again, this goes conflict with Judgment Day stuff because he's kind of getting presented sympathetically there, but still, it's the whole storyline is a mess. Dom on his own with AJ just makes more sense if he was on his own, and this is why we want Dom to separate from Judgment Day immediately. And then we have the commercial Judgment Day interview. Dom was being very standoffish during his interview. He was pretty much talking or viewing the crowd when Roxanne started talking. This is like Judgment Day talking up their ops and stuff like that. Finn dedicated this to Liv. This is like, and then Dom was not having it. He smiled at Liv's mention, but it was like he wasn't feeling the rest of it. Like I said, he was just very standoffish. Cole asked why Dom was so close to Roxanne, and I'm like, sir, Dom was also close to Raquel too. So what? He shouldn't be close to Roxanne, but he can be close to Raquel? No, he sounded like some of these Liv stands that were all upset that Dom would be 1 foot or 2 feet away from Roxanne. He can't stand next to a woman? That's just silly. Everybody else talks like, is he gonna get accused if he stays next to Kathy Kelly? Is he gonna get accused of cheating on Liv if he's next to Jackie Redmond? The whole thing is a mess. Also, during this interview, what was up with Finn and JD? JD wanted to grab the mic, and then it went back to Finn. I'm pretty sure if y'all look at the segment online, you could kind of see it, but it was just really weird. And I'm wondering if something was if that was an accident or there's something more in depth there that we're seeing a crack with Judgment Day, maybe with JD. Maybe JD isn't on Finn's side. We thought JD was probably siding with Finn, but maybe he's not. Maybe he's seeing it, and JD will go on his own with all his promo work that he's been doing. His little promo sets him up by himself. So maybe this is a little crack there as well. It was just really interesting. Like I said, Dom was just really paying more attention to the crowd when Roxanne was talking. He wasn't even paying attention to her. He was facing the crowd. So that's, again, don't worry about this Dom Rock stuff. Dom has pretty much showed us that he is not interested or even pursuing that line despite what Cole says. And that's just Cole. Nobody else is saying that. Even Corey is like, what are you trying to say? So that's the Judgment Day, just the Judgment Day part. Just to wrap things up, this night was Dom's night. This was Monday Night Mysterio, and this was Dom's night. He was all over the place. He had 5 segments. It ended where we wanted to, where he was showing aggression. Loved it. Everything was funny. AJ and Dom, give me more. And this whole Judgment Day stuff can jump off into a lake. I'm tired of it. End it now. End it at SummerSlam. I don't care anymore. Split Dom and Liv from Judgment Day. Let them go be Timu, Bullet Club, or whatever, and let Dom feud with other people and just go on his own.